As I got closer to college graduation, I didn't know what to do with my life, and I kind of had a breakdown about it. I saw a therapist who put me on Prozac, so 90s. I wanted to do comedy, but you can't make a living at it, and also I was afraid to try. I mean, if you try your dream and fail, you don't even have a dream anymore. My mom wanted me to be a teacher, like her, because it's safe, and when she wasn't complaining about it, she was telling me how great it'd be for me. I was terrified to be a teacher. I mean, my whole family is teachers. My mom and her sister and their daughter, and her dad is a principal. I have a little bit of information about my biological family. Both of my maternal grandparents are teachers. So this pull is strong. And I did get a teaching certificate. But as I got closer to time to doing student teaching and becoming more real, I became more afraid of becoming a teacher than trying stand-up, and I went on stage. And I was pretty good. So, for about a year, I teach 7th grade by day and I do stand-up at night. And after a year, MTV came to Austin and did a huge showcase with all the comics. The next night, they took 4 of us out to dinner and said, "We want to do a TV show with you." And we did that show because life is easy. We didn't do that show. But they did come back a year and a half later. They said, "You know, we actually do want to do a show with you." So at 25 years old, I retired from teaching and started MTV's first scripted show, Austin Stories. With Austin Stories, I had found real success. I mean, this had to fill the hole. I had it going on. At my high school reunion, I was starring on an MTV show, about to shoot a movie with Natalie Portman. I had been on HBO and Comedy Central. I mean, that's a lot to put in a hole. Then the show was canceled. I had moved to LA and I had tested for a pilot and come close to some things, but I was floundering. It was a hard time, but I drank heavily so I could still enjoy it on some level. I needed something more, something deeper. I just didn't know what it was. Eventually I put a little work together and I got a job online writing for a web series in San Francisco, and I got a voice work job here for an internet company. And there was this guy there, he's medium build and cute. Curly hair, black Irish looks, real quiet, goatee. He didn't pay any attention to me, so I assumed he had a girlfriend. Fun fact. Around this time, I wore contact lenses, and I also smoked sometimes when I drank, and I drank a lot. Here's what smoke can do to contact lenses. It can work its way up under the lens, and if you don't clean your contacts regularly, say you accidentally pass out in them all the time, it can cause a horrible eye infection. I was safe because I had the kind of contacts you just wear for a week and throw away until I got a horrible eye infection. I had ulcers on my cornea. I nearly lost some vision. I looked like a monster. I went to my optometrist. She gasped. She sent me to an ophthalmologist who gasped. I had to wear an eye patch. I had to take antibiotics. I had to blast it with 3 different eye drops every 10 minutes for days. And I had to get glasses. So I missed a week of the voiceover work, and when I went in the next week, I wore glasses, and suddenly goatee wakes up. Who knew? Loves glasses. Hey, do you want to come in a little later next week? Hit traffic on the 101? No. Why? Always thought we could hang out after, if you want. This guy asked me on a date? I wasn't prepared. I wasn't even drunk. I had to clarify. Do you mean on a date? Yeah. Well then, yes. And we went on that date. We went to Johnny Rockets, and he got a grilled cheese because he was a vegetarian. And we went on several more dates, and we quickly became a couple. And it got serious. And I realized this was the something more I needed, the something deeper. Love. After 3 months, my job in San Francisco offered me a full-time position, but I'd have to move to San Francisco. I immediately dumped goatee and moved to San Francisco. I mean, this was the .com boom. It was a great job writing and directing, and I had a ton of money. I got a place by the beach and a motorcycle. I was happy. One day, my mom called me at work, which is really unusual, and I was afraid something was wrong with Dad, but she said, well, I don't want to beat around the bush. I have cancer.
Solo, cancer, fact. 98% of solo shows are brought to you by cancer.
Okay, everybody knows. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. I mean, that's what she said. I was crying because her mother, my mean granny, died of cancer. But I'm crying really quietly because I don't want my mom to know that I know that cancer is really bad. So are you gonna have a procedure or anything? Yes, we're gonna have an operation. Okay, when? Well, just gonna finish this bowl of soup. Go to the hospital. You're calling me on the way to the hospital? She got mad. She was like, I said we're gonna have bowl of soup first. And that's my mom. Doesn't want to bother me with her cancer. I decided to marry Goatee. Cancer can make you panic marry. My mom was thrilled. She loved Goatee. Thought he was nice and stable. He loved me. He would never leave me. She planned the whole wedding. I think I was hoping that my wedding would cure her cancer. We set the date, October 2001. I was still in San Francisco, about to move back to LA when the towers came down, and I called Goatee. Are you looking at this? This is horrible. Yeah, I guess. I don't see what it has to do with me. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, it's sad and all. It's in New York, and it doesn't really affect me. Oh, I gotta go. I was about to marry a guy who didn't think 9/11 was a big deal. I don't want to throw the words red flag around, but red But I did marry him. Hey. In movies, it's really fun to watch people call off their weddings at the last minute. The bride's in there getting last looks with her best friend who says it's not too late, but in real life, Once those invitations have gone out, it's too late. Also, I have an amazing capacity to doubt myself. Just push it down. Maybe it's me. I mean, 9/11 seemed like a big deal. Maybe I'm just making a big deal. This was not a good marriage. A few months into it, when he couldn't get a job, he suggested we go live with his mother. I screamed out loud for 1 full minute, like in a horror movie. After a year, I asked the priest who married us for an annulment, and he just chuckled and said, "Marriage is hard, just stick with it." And I told my mom, "This is not working," and she said, "It's hard, just stick with it." And it was hard, but I stuck with it, and I learned how to communicate without slamming doors, and how to ask for what I need without screaming. And finally, I was able to say to him, "I'm not happy." And he said, "Well, I'm exceptionally happy." So if you're not happy, you need to go work on that. So I did. In an heroic, Rocky-like montage. I went back to filling this hole. I buckled down, I wrote scripts, I started a writing group, I auditioned, I did shows, I got a support group or 2. I got another therapist who diagnosed me with depression for the 2nd time and put me on meds again. I got a job teaching at an Orthodox yeshiva, not to be happy, but somebody had to get a job. I booked a sprint campaign. There was this 10-day shoot in Austin. I stayed at the Four Seasons right down the hall from Snoop Dogg. It was great. And I came back to LA and I was like, I'm married to a goatee and I work at a yeshiva? What's happening? For about a year, I could get up for a little while, and then I'd come back down. And then I stayed down. I had started to feel like I was in the wrong life. Like I'd gotten on the wrong train. Like I should be over there going that way. But I don't even know how to get over there anymore. And it all felt too hard to change. And I didn't want to live anymore. And I did something about it. One Friday after work at the yeshiva, I picked up Chinese food and went home and put in Lost in Translation and poured some wine and took a Vicodin and then another. I had 13 or 14 left over from some dental thing, and I thought if I took them all, I wouldn't wake up. I had a husband asleep down the hall, and I had a mom in Texas dying of cancer. And I had a class full of yeshiva kids expecting me to teach them math on Monday, but it didn't matter. I didn't want to wake up.